The Aeneid by Virgil, translated by Alan Mandelbaum. Book 12. When Turnus sees the Latins faltering and broken by the countercourse of battle, and sees all eyes are turned to him, demanding that now he keep his pledge, implacable and keen, he burns to fight, his heat is high. And as a lion on the Punic plains, when hunters wound him gravely in the chest, at last awakes to battle and is glad, and shakes the hairy mane along his neck, and fearless snaps the hunter's shaft and roars with bloody jaws. Just so did violence urge on fanatic Turnus. Hectic, he cries out to King Latinus with these words: Turnus will not delay. The coward Trojans need not retract their words, take back their promise. I go to meet him. Father, have the holy rites readied, draw the treaty. Either I send down this Dardan, Asia's renegade, to hell with my right hand, while Latins sit and watch, and by my single sword blot out the slur that stains us all. Or we are beaten and held by him, he takes Lavinia. Latinus answered him with quiet heart: Young man remarkable for spirit, just as you excel in unrelenting courage, so much the more must I with care consider and weigh with fear the outcome of this duel. You have the kingdoms of your father Daunus, and many towns your arms have won. Latinus also has gold and generosity. In Latium and in Laurentum's lands, other unmarried girls are waiting, born of not unseemly stock. Let me say these ungentle things frankly, without deceit, and let your spirit pay them close attention. It was not right for me to give my daughter to any of her former suitors. All, both gods and men, had told us this, and yet, too overcome by love for you, by our related blood, and by my sad wife's tears, I broke all of these curbs. I snatched my daughter back from her promised husband. I took up unholy arms. For Turnus, you see what disasters hunt me down from that day on, what evils you, above all, had to suffer. Twice beaten in great battles, we can hardly keep Italy's hopes safe within our city. And even now our blood still warms the Tiber. The giant plains are still white with our bones. Why have I drifted back so often? What new madness shifts my purpose? If, with Turnus's death, I am ready to accept the Trojans, to take them in as allies, then why not stop this war now, with Turnus still untouched? For what will our Rutulian kinsmen say, and what the rest of Italy, if I betray to death? May fate refute my words, you, who have sought my daughter's hand. Think back on all the chance and change of battle. Pity your aged father. Even now his native Ardea holds him far from us in sadness. Words cannot check the violence of Turnus. The healing only aggravates his sickness. His fury flares. As soon as he is able to speak, he still insists. Most gracious king, I pray you, set aside your care for me and for my safety. Let me barter death for glory, for I too can cast a lance. The steel my right hand uses is not feeble. My father, blood flows from the wounds I deal. The Trojans' goddess mother will be too far off to shelter her retreating son, to hide him as a woman would within the same deceiving cloud that covers her. But frightened by the terms of this new duel, the queen, weeping, prepared to die, held fast her raging son-in-law. Turnus, by these tears, and by any reverence you still feel for Amata. You, the only hope and quiet left my sad last years. The honor and power of Latinus is with you. This house in peril stands or falls with you. I beg one thing. You must not meet the Trojans, for in this duel that you so wish to enter, whatever waits for you waits for me too. Together with you I shall leave this hated light, for I will not be a captive. See Aeneas as my son-in-law. Lavinia's hot cheeks were bathed in tears. She heard her mother's words, and her blush, a kindled fire, crossed her burning face. And just as when a craftsman stains Indian ivory with blood-red purple, or when light white lilies mixed with many roses blush, even such the colors of the Virgin. His love drives Turnus wild. He stares at his Lavinia. Even keener now for battle, he answers Queen Amata with few words. I pray you, mother, as I go to face so hard a duel, do not send me off with weeping, with such dreary omens. Turnus cannot delay his death, if it must come. You, Idmon, be my messenger and carry these words, which will not please him, to the Phrygian tyrant, that when tomorrow's dawn first rides on crimson wheels and reddens in the sky, let him not lead the Teucrians against the Latins, let their weapons rest. The war will be decided by our blood. The bride Lavinia will be won upon that field. This said, he hurries back into the palace, calls for his horses, and on seeing them as they neigh there before him, he rejoices. For Oreithyia herself once gave these stallions as offerings in his honor to Polymnus, whiter than snow and faster than the wind. Keen charioteers surround the chargers, striking their sounding chests with hollow palms, and combing their shaggy manes. Then Turnus wraps his corslet, made stiff with gold, and gleaming orichalcum about his shoulders, sets in place his sword and shield, the sockets of his crimson crest. The sword the Lord of Fire himself had forged for Turnus' father Daunus, dipping it, while glowing hot, into the wave of Styx. And then he clutches hard his hefty lance that stood just at the center of the hall, propped up against a giant pillar, spoil taken from the Auruncan Actor. Turnus shakes this until it quivers as he cries, Now, lance that never failed my call, your time is come. The mighty Actor bore you once. You now belong to Turnus. Grant me this, to lay his body low, to tear his corslet, ripped by my right hand, from the Phrygian half-man, and to defile his hair with dust, that hair he curls with heated irons, drenching it with myrrh. Turnus is driven by the Furies. He glows with sparks, his fierce eyes flame with fire, as when a bull preparing to do battle awakes tremendous bellowings, trying to hurl his rage into his horns. Before the fight, he butts against a tree trunk, and he beats the wind with blows and paws the sand.